Oh, and good morning. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Beyond the Summit presentation of the iLeague Season 3 Dota 2 Chinese qualifier match here in the group stage between CDEC and Energy Pacemaker. It's bright and early for me, so got a little bit of a late start here, just enjoying some breakfast, getting fueled up for today's games here. I'm going to be casting 6 Chinese Dota games, turning it over to Alexander for the last 2, and then I'm going to be jumping over to eSportal for some European Dota. So I've got about at least 10 hours scheduled here today, and it should be pretty interesting. It should be very, very interesting, because we are here in day 3 of 6.84. Teams are starting to get a bit of firm handle on the patch itself, and yeah, we're going to be seeing an interesting matchup to kick it off. You may look at these guys and say that these are tier 2 teams, but Energy Pacemaker, they've been actually doing some amazing things. They've been 2-0ing huge teams. IG, eHome, they really are getting a good grasp of this patch on the back of fans, Phantom Lancer play, and just in general, really smart drafting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're finding some great openings, and here we have the Coddle pick. Okay, that is brand new. Everything else up to this point is like, yeah, we see the Phantom Lancer do work. Lena's a Night Stalker support, why not? Centaur, awesome if you can get that Aghanim Scepter. But now we see the Keeper of the Light hit the field, and that means a lot to me. It shows very significant intention to just spam the hell out of that Spirit Lance, and whatever other abilities will work for them. There's so much potential with that Keeper of the Light Chakra magic, and we'll have to see how well they can utilize it. There's a possibility also of Night Stalker Coddle. I mean, the Void spam isn't as overwhelming maybe as the Spirit Lance, but it's pretty good. Anyways, so to just do a bit of a speed draft here, Phantom Lancer, Lena, Centaur, Night Stalker, and Keeper of the Light will be the side of Energy Pacemaker. Then we're going to be looking at CDEC, and they're running a bit of an AoE composition, push-oriented, AoE-oriented, and they're going to be running Leshrac as their carry. So Shiki's taking Queen of Pain mid, they've got their offlane to be Earthshaker, their supports will be Chen and Venge, and then it's going to be the Leshrac as your secondary core. I am solo for the moment, guys. I may be bringing in a co-caster, or I intend to be bringing in a co-caster starting in an hour or two. Well, the one person that was going to be starting off with me this morning could not actually make it, so all in all, happy to solo cast this game up for you guys, and we'll get it underway pretty quickly. Double mango build for XZ on the offlane Shaker. Going to be just regenerating a lot of HP over time. We're going to be seeing Shiki on the Queen of Pain. Just trying to dominate the mid lane, trying to get that bounty rune so she can get her tangos out, because she actually didn't get pulled anything. And we actually see a stalking approach from EP. They connect with a Void, but I don't think they followed up with much else. Garter here is going to be fine. They use the kind of warding Split Earth just to make sure that that's not going to connect with anything. There was a good ward placed out here, so maybe that sticks, maybe that gets dewarded, but we'll see them kind of make a disengage, or they tend to make a disengage. A Fissure could ruin everything. We're going to see a Fissure on to 3, but the Coddle Blast coming through too. Garter will be the first blood. Night Stalker your second. 1 for 1 right now, but the Spirit Lance connects onto Mr. Goatman. Still hits the Split Earth though, right onto the Centaur Warrunner. Double LSA back the other way, and we have ourselves a game of Dota 2. Oh boy, that is a lot of fun. Seeing all that activity, all that back and forth, really just this is going to be sparks flying on the onside. Actually, trying to block out Old Chicken back on this side of the Fissure. If he had managed that, that would have been a nice bounty rune snag. Instead, it could be a double bounty rune for Lena. We'll see Shiki. He doesn't have Blink, but I think he can outrun the Lena to the top rune. He's not going for it, though. Oh, no, he's going for the block. Who's going to get that bounty rune? Old Chicken is going to double it. He's going to be level 2 at 30 seconds. Oh, my gosh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so good. Double bounty rune for Old Chicken. Suddenly level 2. And he's off to the races here at the beginning of this game here. So, once again, we've got on the Radiant side, XZ's Earthshaker in the offlane, Shiki's Queen of Pain in the mid. That we're going to be seeing carry Leshrac down bottom, played by Aggressive. We got Q on the Chen. I'm running in the jungle while Garter babysits bottom on the support Venge. They have an easy combo stun, the Magic Missile, and the Split Earth, so the Centaur is going to have to play very safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 did go for boots first though, and should be in an okay position. We're going to see Old Chicken, of course. He's the one that got that instant level 2 with the bounty runes, and yeah, is going to be contributing to the lane as best he can. Right now, the Queen Pain leads though 5-2 with that better block. So, kind of interesting argument which one's better, but I think the bounty rune's pretty sweet. As you can see, just her net worth, like even if she's not winning on last hits, she's still winning on gold and experience, so that's the important thing, right? we're going to be seeing Keeper the Light hang out here. He doesn't have Chakra Magic, just the Illuminate, which makes sense, all things considered. But it does mean that he is just going to be kind of having to directly approach the lane. He's going to have to directly harass the Queen of Pain. He's not going to be able to just kind of pop in and give some mana. But anyways, that is going to be LT on that Keeper the Light. That leaves Leshrac to actually get a kill on the Centaur Warrior. That combo, Magic Missile, Split Earth, Lightning Storm. Good slows, good right clicks to follow, and they do bring down the Centaur, doing about 380 damage apiece. We do see Lei. Interesting position here, trying to control the creep wave, making sure this pull doesn't go through. That's good mechanical action from him. This is a support Night Stalker, so he's very obligated to make sure that everything goes smoothly for Fan here on the top lane. Phantom Lancer, and then Keeper Light's going to do some jungling. In the meantime, manning up here a little bit. Quap's going to go and do some damage to Old Chicken, but mostly take more damage in return. Old Chicken's in a pretty good spot here in the mid lane. Centaur running right into 2 creeps, wasting a stun early. There's a haste rune on the Venge. I can't imagine how he could get out of this right here. There is no test of faith. Oh wait, there certainly is if necessary. I was looking at the wrong mana pool, but either way, they converge 3v1 and they are able to get a nice easy kill. So, this is going to be pretty interesting, honestly. This has been very active. We see the dot tick down. Queen of Pain will finish off the Lina here. Another mana play, but this one paying off just that much more. I think Lina is getting a little greedy waiting for her bottle. She wasn't even getting regen out to her, so it really felt like she wanted to just play it safe and play it passive. We're seeing a Mango eaten here just for this one Illuminate. Gonna hit Shiki though. If it got the kill, it would have been worth it, but he just blinks away. So, honestly, they need to combine that maybe with a Dragon Slave or something else, because that Mango doesn't come back. That is one consumable you kind of wish you don't waste 150 gold on. They try to deward here. They try to open up by making sure there's no Magic Bush ward. There's no ward in this area. There's sometimes you can ward in this spot too, but this Sentry Ward won't see it all, and the Observer they placed at the First Blood Clash does keep that pull on lockdown. So Centaur, in theory, should be able to avoid having to worry about the jungle and stuff like that. But we saw him invade earlier awkwardly, and now he's kind of roaming about with nowhere to call home. I mean, he can fight Mud Golems a little bit here, stacking up, but really it's him like Illuminate farming with the Keeper of the Light. It's not great. Invis though, that could be something. Invis rune going on the mid lane would be huge. Old Chicken's going to try to bait him into it, but even if he gets the bait, he needs to hit the triple stun. Double LSA, big damage coming out, and they do bring down the Queen of Pain. Now looking at the Venge, the Illuminate will be off the mark, but Garters will still be right click down. Great rotation here. Old Chicken will survive, bottling up, and we see a Void even connecting with the Spirit Lance. Aggressive, dropping very low very quickly. Last right click is not enough. The Magic Stick keeps him alive. Now we see, Fisher block, keeping him back. The Lance is not going to be enough damage, just barely 40 HP. Fan in over his head. He commits a little bit too hard, and now he might be punished. 3 seconds. Yeah, he's definitely dead. Oh, boy. This has been just such an active game already. I mean, we have 10 kills, not even 5 minutes in, and this is what Chinese Dota has become. I mean, I think it might be just Dota 2 as a whole. We've been very frequently seeing the 2 kills a minute benchmark hit pretty frequently here in 6.84, and it's exciting to see. It's a lot of fun. So, I think overall EP do want to turtle this one out. Their general game plan is to try to take hold of the early game a little bit, get Lina some kill momentum, get Centaur some levels. Obviously, the Night Stalker wants to do what he can during the nighttime, which he's going for a 2-1-1 build, and he's going to be diving with it. No silence used just yet, just kind of poking at him. But meanwhile, in the mid lane, Old Chicken takes really heavy hits from this Queen of Pain, but it's actually going to be him to win out the trade, and it's because the Queen of Pain, honestly. It seems a simple way to put it, but it's because he manned up against Laguna Blade. Laguna Blade is greater than Sonic Wave, and when it comes down to it, all Lina has to do is stand her ground, pop that ulti, and she's fine. The only way to offset that is having Hand of God in the mix. If you Hand of God while that fight breaks down, then sure, you can man up as a Queen of Pain against Alina, but generally speaking, full HP to full HP, full mana, you can't go up against Laguna Blade. It's just too good single target. Earthshaker does get caught out there, a nice flanking play and good slowing presence. Night Stalker roaming around. Earnest Shadows charges building up. He wants to build momentum. Meanwhile, down bottom, Centaur getting caught out by the spells. Garter, Aggressive doing their job. 203 build on the Leshrac here. Maxing Lightning Storm is no surprise. We'll see if he goes for the 1 point Impulse Nova, the 1 point Edict. I don't think he needs more in Split Earth, to be honest, but we'll see. And yeah, missing kills early. This is my first game of the morning. It is 4 o'clock in the morning. I got about 5.5 hours of sleep since casting Dota 2 Canada Cup, so been very involved, very active around the globe. Shiki looking for vengeance, wants to go on Old Chicken, but in doing so would put her in a very tough position up against the Night Stalker. But for at least for now, Night Stalker will just kind of keep roaming about. Radiant won't see him, and they'll be worried about him missing off the map. This guy's really good at ganking at nighttime, if that isn't obvious. I mean, the Void Slow is very strong at 4 seconds, 50% slow. It doesn't taper. He has a 5-second silence that also causes them to miss 50% of the time. And he's fast on his feet with the Hunter of the Night. So we'll see. Right now, big smoke flank. This is actually a big kill opportunity, but it is nighttime, so he will be running fast. Still connecting with 1 stun, connecting with 2 stuns. That's going to be the kill. Meanwhile, Centaur jungling with his Tranquil Boots, dropping pretty low, but he'll be healing himself back up, and they're going to probably kind of rinse and repeat those kinds of actions, unless they need to rotate the Coddle to illuminate the bottom lane. I mean, if the Chen push ensues in earnest, you need that level 2 illuminate onto the creep wave, and so it looks like that's where they'll make their move. Tranquil Boots still healing things up. Observer Ward scouting things out. Fisher will kind of cancel that out a little early, but all in all, it's still going to be good pressure here onto the tier 2 tower with that level 1 Diabolic Edict at level 6, as I was saying. So this is, again, this is what I look for a more dynamic skill build from the Leshrac. We've been seeing a little bit of 4-0-4. I'm not a big fan of that, but like 2-1-3. Then you max out your Lightning Storm at 7, and then you start going into your ultimate. That makes sense to me. I think that's pretty strong. Phase boots Lina, invis, looking for an easy kill. I think she's found one. Little does Q know that he's pretty much a dead man walking. Oh no, she misses the stun, but she still gets the kill. I mean, I can't really call it a combo with how that did miss the stun, but it's still, we're gonna see the magic missile go in, the split earth, the follow, and yeah, that's gonna be a dead Night Stalker. Man, as soon as this Vengeful Spirit connects with anything, you really just have to realize it's pretty much a kill. But Old Chicken gets some fiery souls. Oh, he's going to get hit by the Sonic Wave, though. It doesn't double it up, Shiki. Just a single hit, so it's going to be Phantom Man up on Shiki. But he's got the Blink. He's got the TP Scroll. He should be fine. He'll take a hit. And he'll fall back. But yeah, anytime the Magic Missile connects, essentially that's a kill. Because of the way the Leshrac can follow up so easily. Split Earth is just really good as far as follow-up lockdown. A 2-second stun duration, good magic damage, and the Lightning Storm is insane. Oh man. Ideally, you set up 2 Lightning Storms. You go for the Magic Missile and Lightning Storm at the same time, and then you go Split Earth, and then another Lightning Storm. But no matter what you do, EP are just going to have to find better responses. I guess you can Stampede away, and that'll get you, since it's a projectile, you can try to outrun it. You will still get hit by it, but you'll be out of maybe Leshrac's range. Another aspect of it is Blink Daggers. I mean, having the Doppelganger for the Phantom Lancer to dodge it out, having the Blink Dagger on the Centaur to dodge it out, those will be really nice tools. We see these two roaming in, but they're not smoked up. They're just kind of trying to find an opportunity, and they nearly find one against the Keeper of the Light, but looks like they'll just be looking to put some wards down. No wards. No smoke, no wards. Just walking into the jungle and saying, hey, nice stack you have there. Be a shame if somebody Echo Slammed it, but there you go. XZ. Popping everything, knocking it down, and getting some chump chain. So that kind of frustrates Lina and the Keeper of the Light, taking those stacks away from them, and down goes another tier 1 tower. This does, however, give Centaur the opportunity to farm down bottom. As you can see, his gold, he's racking it up, 300 gold, and he'll have that Blink Dagger. Dire Observer Ward scouts out the courier, they see the point booster, they know Aggressive is going to be looking towards some very early soul booster action. Probably still going to be the Bloodstone. I think it's a little bit better early on than the Octarine Core for the Leshrac, but we'll have to see what he has in mind. And darkness comes out. We're going to be seeing it here at 11:10. That means that in 50 seconds it will be hitting nighttime anyway. So it's a good time, a way to extend the night. People are realizing how to manage the darkness, and particularly players like Lei on the Night Stalker here. They know exactly what they want to do. The timing is key, but we're going to see that magic missile guarantee that kill once again. And Ney even send in the neutral creeps. Chen goes ahead, brings out everything, and they're going to have to pop the Stampede to feel safe about Phantom Lancer's retreat. So they lose the Lina, they gain a Blink Dagger. We'll see what they can do with it. This Blink, I think, has to do some work. The Centaur has kind of been dragging his feet. He's not been able to do too much. That is the first Stampede, and it really isn't all that contributional. No, he wants to do more. So the Blink Dagger comes through from him from the side shop. He'll TP top, and we'll see what he can do. But first and foremost, we see the creeps just walking right up here. And everybody will have to fall back. Where is the Centaur? It looks like he'll go for a delayed TP play. And Fan will try to bait things out here. Just hit one lance, keep on running. And he gets swapped back in. That could be bad. Doppel touch on the magic missile, and suddenly the Blink Dagger comes out from the Centaur Warrunner. If they had Stampede, they'd be in a really good spot, but the Inner Shadows might be enough to bring down the Chen. Yes, it looks like he'll take down to 4 HP before walking away. Oh man, that would have been so much better if it was the kill on the Chen. Instead, he's pulling back his creeps. He will get the Wild Wing out, and that is all. Oh man, this has been some crazy active exchanges, but Q will limp away, just barely able to survive based on one single Iron Branch. So I'm not really sure about this ward anymore. Like, I liked it when they were sieging and they got the Fisher out onto the Keep of the Light, but now it's like they haven't been down here for a very long time. They haven't even been dealing with the Centaur for a very long time, and he's pushed out all the way past the river. So maybe not really getting that much valuable intel there, and could have been something to be conserved. But they are now hiding back here. We're going to see Dire Vision. They smoked. Ooh, they don't know about the smoke. They do not know about the smoke of deceit. And that could be very dangerous. If the Avenge leads the charge in particular, if she leads the charge, she finds somebody other than the Phantom Lancer, that's a kill. But maybe the Fisher will guarantee it no matter what. Walking right up the ramp, it's dangerous. There could have been somebody right here, but it will not break just yet. It's going to break under the tower, and they're fine with that because, honestly, they're going to see a lot more, and nighttime is not really favoring Energy Pacemaker right now. In fact, it looks like they're going to see the Coddle, and they're going to go for him. So, connected with one stun, connecting with a Lightning Storm, but a Blinding Light blowback actually going to knock everybody out of this. Still, the Centaur Warrunner getting a lot of damage against him, and the final Lightning Storm will do the trick. So, it becomes a 2-0. Just good damage coming out from Aggressive. Decent lockdown against both of those heroes, and the Stampede is, again, insufficient to make the escape. Phantom Lancer does get to push down bottom, so Fan will get some good hits onto this tier 1 tower as well as get some good farm. Drums already complete for him, but in the meantime, the final tier 1 tower for the Dire side, Energy Pacemaker will be losing that one. And I think they expected this. I think they looked at CDEC's lineup and they said, okay, carry Leshrac, support Chen and Venge, we're going to be losing towers. This many towers, maybe they didn't think about that, but they knew that in general they'd be behind in gold. So now they have to look at how they're going to be bringing it back, how they're going to be bouncing back in terms of farm. And generally speaking, it's going to be Fan just finding opportunities, finding space for himself. He's really good at this with this Phantom Lancer's amazing ability to escape ganks. He can kind of farm more aggressively, find more opportunities to do more things, and yeah, just in general get involved. I am, however, kind of sad about this Keep of the Light. It has not done anything. It really hasn't. I mean, he's going for a 2-1-4 build, so I'm not surprised the Illuminates aren't doing anything, but we really just haven't seen anything from the Chakra Magic either. Like, just no double lance play. I mean, it reduces cooldowns by 4 seconds. For those that don't know, in 6.84, that the next spell that they cast within 12 seconds is reduced by 4 seconds. So a Spirit Lance is only a 3-second cooldown in that situation. But Garter going to be going down quick here, but a nice Fisher keeping him alive. The Hand of God too, and XZ comes in. They combine up all the AoE abilities. Garter may still fall, but at a good cost if they could just trade it out a little bit further. But still the Laguna brings down Shiki. Old Chicken eating a lot of damage. There's a Light Strike Ray. It's a 3-second cooldown Light Strike Ray. Old Chicken looking for another one in just a second here. And he's not really taking advantage of that cooldown. But either way, Fan gets the Lance. They bring down the Goatman, and they bring down the Chen. Killing spree for Old Chicken, and wow, what a fight. What a hell of a fight. I mean, obviously the haste rune on Lena was pretty big there, but still, the fact that they were able to, after that initiation didn't really work the way they wanted to. They wanted the quick and easy kill and avenge. They thought it was just like, oh, one and done, hit your spells, kill the hero. But instead she lived. She magic wanded, she got hand to godded, and she nearly got away. But they were able to pursue. They were able to eat some decent damage from the Queen of Bane. Oh, Echo Slam coming out onto LT. He goes down. Looks like Centaur will be able to combo it up. I don't want to lose the fight recap, but it looks like we have to watch the action here. Double Edge comes out, and Earthshaker will go down. So, wow, what a duo. This Earthshaker and Lena doing some real work. But yeah, it was just really good. There was a lot of AoE damage coming from the Queen of Pain that one fight, but it didn't seem to be enough. They just couldn't finish anybody off except for the Centaur, who was pretty much already dead to rights. So he was committed to in full. He was the one who started everything off, and there was no surprise there. Nice D ward from the Chim, pulling that out. But there is still this ward that was placed out in a very similar spot just to the east, and is still going to be up for quite some time. So, wow. Just wow. The kill count going very favorably for EP. Now they're really hitting their stride, finding their opportunities to take these fights. Getting better stuns out, I think, is the bottom line. Like, it's a very simple thing to say, but it really is just, they are connecting with their stuns a lot better. They are getting better Light Strike arrays, better Centaur hoof stomps. They've really upped their game in that way, and it makes it so much easier for them to address the opposition that way. And it looks like Fan's just going to keep on farming towards that Diffusal Blade, right-clicking down some Mud Golems, some Shard Golems, some Wolves. Having a good time. So let's look over at the Golden Experience graph. I kind of pulled it up earlier, but didn't really allude to it. So 2,200 gold in favor of Energy Pacemaker now, and 6,000 experience. So they get the Chen out on, the mech out on the Chen. They're going to look for a smoke play. And I think this one has to do some work. I mean, like I said, we expected an early advantage from CDEC. They took towers, they did work, and that was grand. They got a big gold advantage, and then in 2 subsequent fights, they lose it all. So they need to kind of follow through with a backup plan. They need to make an aggressive move across the map, and it looks like it's going to be into the Roche pit, using Wave of Terror as well as the ability to tank things up with the Chen creeps. They're going to look to bring down Roshan, and Dire do not know about this. The Wave of Terror did not hit anywhere into their vision, and it is going to be Roche to go down into the hands of CDEC. They'll give the Aegis Immortal to the Leshrac, and he's just going to try to stay involved as best he can. He'll have his Bloodstone very soon, the Aegis on top, and they're just going to kind of death ball push down the mid lane, I believe. Maybe they farm up one more thing. The Orchid's going to come out on the Queen of Pain, and it looks like that's about it. Yeah, they get the mech, they get the Orchid, they get the Aegis, and then they push. That makes perfect sense strategically as far as the timing that they're looking for. So I'm curious how EP respond. Do they try to turtle it with the Illuminate and then just dodge the fights until they have to fight? Or do they come in with a smoke flank of their own? We'll see. They did smoke up. I actually didn't catch that, but I mean, it doesn't seem to matter. All they've been doing is just running around in circles, trying to find an opening, and with the fact that CDEC were doing Roshan are all moving as 5, there's no isolated kills to be found. They'll take the tier 1 top for sure, but Coddle's going to come down bottom, and he's going to look for the Illuminate play. Actually going to be recalling an ally as well, so we'll see that recall come through in a second. And in the meantime, attempting the Illuminate, but is not. They don't have to channel it thanks to the Elder Spirit form. We're going to see Hoof Stomp out on Ashiki, big damage, but he just gets swapped out. Now the Magic Missile, now the Splitters, big damage from Aggressive, huge Echo Slam, and they just walked into that one. Oh my, all 3 in one tiny, neat little circle. For me, Leshrac, oh my. So Earthshaker and Leshrac just pound into that. This is an AoE lineup. We saw that with the first 3 picks. They were clearly looking for an AoE combo lineup, mostly just to clear out Phantom Lancer illusions, but if you can get a triple stun, yeah, you're going to go for it. That was just CDEC playing the strength of their heroes and EP walking into it and ignoring that fact. That was a big mistake from them, and it might cost them racks. Generally speaking, racks is game in 6.84 just because of how much gold you get out of one full lane of racks, but I feel like this game maybe it's different. I feel like this game maybe we're going to be seeing some real turtle potential. coming in from EP. They have a really good late game lineup, and they're going to try to hold it. So we'll see a big gold swing, though. Obviously, getting all those kills, getting the racks. Getting racks is a tremendous gold swing. It's like 2,000 gold now. I actually should do the math because I keep on referencing an approximate number. I think it's probably like close to 2,300, something like that, for both racks. They got one rack, so I guess it's more closer to about 1,200. But yeah. And they did leave the range behind. I feel like it's worth it to sacrifice a couple lives to get that range racks down, just because it's no longer just 100 gold bounty for the team. It's like 270 here, something like that. Oh my, it's a lot. It's a lot. Anywho, they use that to fuel their momentum. They get the Bloodstone out on Aggressive. Still has this Aegis, so I don't see why they wouldn't push for the tier 2 when they get their ultimates back off cooldown. But for now, Earthshaker farming up some jungle camps, and Chen building up his army once more, looking for the Aghanim Scepter. Chen doesn't seem to be persuading any mud golems. Wonder if he is interested in that micromanagement there. The mud golem, shard golems, they have some good damage in their stuns, and that could be an interesting thing to throw at people. But as it stands right now, we're going to see that death ball push as the ultimates come back online, as you would expect from this lineup. Nice Illuminate coming through. The Dragon Slave on top will clear out the entire creep wave. There is backdoor protection, but they're not going to be taking up the tower voluntarily. So the Yule Scepter out on Aggressive for the build-up for it. Let's see if there's any other items before we see this clash. There's a Hood of Defiance on Garter, so they're looking to pipe their push into the mid, because that's how you keep your creep wave alive against Illuminate. In the meantime, Mechanism is in progress for Coddle, and he's going to have it very soon, actually. Went for Arcane Boots, despite maxing Chakra Magic first, which I find interesting. I mean, maybe, I don't know, I was going to say Guardian's Greaves, but you'd still want the mech first, because you have plenty of mana to work with. Anyways, Lei on the Night Stalker has a BKB at 10 seconds. We've got Yule Scepter. We've had Yule Scepter for a long time on Old Chicken. The Diffusal Blade on Phantom Lancer with 1,600 extra gold. And then, obviously, the Casual Cloak into Ags is a progression for the Centaur Warrunner. We're going to see this tower pressure directly, though, and they have to make a decision here if they're going to actually let it go without contest. I don't know if they really have a choice, but it's just the decision they have to make. Old Chicken is invis, could look for a deny or something shenanigans, but really just going to hide it out, and Shiki's going to TP away. So Shiki's going to go up here, try to clear out Fan's Illusion Army, but will not be committing Sonic Wave, and with him retreating, they go in deep onto Aggressive, try to kill his first life, but he pops the Edict and gets Laguna down. So Edict remains, the Aegis bringing him back up. Garter looking for the swap out, and it's not going to be good. He gets stunned right when he tries to swap out Aggressive. Oh my, great play from the Centaur Warrunner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now everybody's in. Fan going right onto Garter. He will be silenced up by the Orchid, but still kicking. Still doing what he needs to do. Gonna go right now on to Shiki. No, he blinks out in the nick of time. But even still, that was a great fight for CDEC. So, just to break that down for a quick second, they go ahead and commit the Laguna Blade kill to Leshrac. Neither side had a problem with that position. CDEC were happy to give the Aegis away to try to engage in a full fight, but they wanted a better position. So, the Venge is looking to swap the Leshrac back from, it's approximation, but like from here back to here. It's actually much further back. It's a little bit further back here. So maybe from there to there. I don't know. Anyways, so the Venge looks to swap him back. And by swapping him back, they would negate the stun that came out from the Lina. They would pull him out of a bad position. He would re-engage the fight with plenty of HP and mana to work with. But the Centaur on the backline gets the hoof stomp on the Venge right when that happens. So Chen panics, he pops his heals, he pops his Test of Faith to send home. It's all too late. Leshrac goes down. So they kill the Aegis, they kill 3 Bloodstone charges, they get a good kill on the Leshrac, who's the secondary farmer for CDEC. And Fan still is able to put massive damage to the tier 2. They waited until Shiki teleported to the top lane. And as soon as that happened, they brought Phantom Lancer back in. He either TP'd or more likely was just recalled to the fight via the Cube for the Light. And that allowed them to take a huge engagement there. Now, in his spirit form, he's going to pop another Illuminate, but Caldellini is not going to be enough to really do much to this creep wave here. Again, it's only level 2 Illuminate.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I wonder if there's any abilities that Coddle wants to reduce the cooldown of. I mean, I can imagine like an 8-second cooldown Blinding Light with a 6-second duration being pretty good. Mana Leak being maxed out, he can get that onto a 6-second cooldown. That's pretty solid. It lasts 8 seconds anyways. But yeah. So, just overall goal graph, as you can see, we have 6k advantage for CDEC, but you know, just that's mostly the racks. That's mostly the fact that I've gotten all the tier 2 and tier 1 towers, 1 tier 3, and a melee racks. That's the advantage they have right now. I feel like EP after that fight are looking to bring it back in a big way, and they've got a good smoke position for it. The problem is it will be breaking and they'll be hesitating. Radiant don't have any vision in the jungle, but EP don't necessarily know that, and they don't want to be set up for a trap of their own. So they're just going to go ahead, farm the jungle, back off, lay some wards in their retreat, and that seems to be the smart play. They could still kind of camp right above this line here so that Fan can push in a little bit deeper, but that's about all they can do, and they're going to see the push go right down the mid lane, so they have to address that. At least the Keeper Light has to go back, but it looks like the Centaur is going to be the first to go. Still, he's working towards that Ags, as I mentioned, and he's going to be having that in about 1,600 gold, and that is a huge pickup for him. Getting the Aghanim Scepter on the Centaur is going to be making this lineup work just that much more effectively. Like, it's not necessarily the cliff walking, that's cool and all, but it's really the mitigation. 70% damage reduction for that 3 3/4 seconds. Wow, just, it's insanely good against an AoE lineup. You just pop it as a defensive thing to suppress the pain of all the damage output from CDEC. Like, deal with Sonic Wave, deal with Echo Slams, follow through. Like, oh, Queen of Pain getting caught out here, almost going down. The Laguna came out pretty early there. Just a basic stun combo and then the Laguna Blade, but Queen of Pain gets hand guarded up, and she will heal up a little bit with the bottle here. So, had a BKB the whole time. I don't think she had a risk of dying, but so, BKB Orchid build on the Queen of Pain really can't spam out too actively, but she can man up now. She can really start fighting aggressively, looking for a quick and easy target. Still, if she goes in and Orchids the Phantom Lancer, he's just going to defusel it off. She Orchid, oh, okay, Coddle in a bad spot here. Night Stalker not great either. But this is the BKB charge 10 of Shiki here. He pops it just to commit to the Keeper of Light. Night Stalker uses it to disengage, or I'd like to say that, but he kind of used it after he'd already been gone. Now we see XZ going toe-to-toe with Fan, and with the extra damage he gets, they're going to be able to clean him up there. They don't give him the chance to doppel. He was looking to bait out a couple spells and then jump away, but they combo on him just perfectly, and he's going to be going down. Now we see the Centaur Stampede here onto the mid. Guard is going to take some damage here, but the Hood of Defiance makes that double edge so weak. So Old Chicken's going to have to just go solo onto the Leshrac, and it costs him his life in exchange. Now jumping forward, Shiki connects with the slow. They're looking for one more. Need this Wave of Terror swap back, and then the Magic Missile to bring down Lei. So, 3 down. They have a 4-man push. Do they go without the Leshrac is the question. Lesh is going to be responding in 14 seconds thanks to the remaining charges of his Bloodstone, but even still, that's not the easiest push up against the Keeper of Light without the Leshrac. So they'll commit here, and we'll see how well LT can wear them down. Still only 2 points in Illuminate, and that means very little to this creep wave though. Dragon Slave on the other hand, that'll pack a punch. So we're going to see them illuminate this down, but it's still surviving long. I mean, the Ancient Black Dragon doesn't take any of the damage, and he's just going to stay right on the tower for as long as they need him to. That's the power of the Aghanim Scepter, picking up a magic immune creep to keep pushing with. He doesn't care. He just doesn't care. But in the end, they will have to fall back there. I did say there is dire bottom range barracks. Oh no, since they only had 2 people alive and they were all focused on mid. The dire bottom range barracks was destroyed, and that's another gigantic gold swing forward for CDEC. That's another, 1,100, 1,200 gold in the pocket. Pipe of Insight now finished on Venge, no surprise. And did anything else come through in a big way for EP? They're looking for the comeback swing. They still don't have that Ags though. 500 gold off of that. The Heart of Tarask or Satanic is still not up for the Phantom Lancer, and they're just might look at Roche, but honestly, it's dangerous. Like, with only this ward up, they don't have that much intel into the pit, or outside the pit, and I think that would be a pretty big mistake. So they'll just move up here, start farming Ancients, and with that knowledge, CDEC will be able to farm safely out in their jungle. Geometry Sight now up for the Earthshaker. The way I see this game potentially turning is if the Earthshaker dies, it gives that gem to the Night Stalker, and he just runs around with that nighttime vision, seeing all these gems, seeing all the nice treats for him to pick up and for him to get control back over the map. But as it stands right now, gem is going to be pretty strong in the hands of the Queen of Pain, actually. They gave it over to her, and they'll be seeing everything in the shadows, especially those wards. Centaur finishes the Aghanim Scepter, though, and the Phantom Lancer is just a little bit away from that harder Tarrasque. So, not a bad spot for them to be in. 9-second BKB for Lina, but the heart is actually really important because essentially, with a lineup that doesn't have a traditional carry, they just have the Leshrac. Essentially what that means is that they can't do as much extended damage. They have a finite amount of output, and then their damage starts to taper. But we do see the Centaur losing his entire life before he gets to react. Old Chicken now pops the BKB in exchange for the Queen of Pains, but they really don't know what to do beyond this. They're going to go pipe all the creeps. EP, though, once they lost their Centaur, they really couldn't engage. They have no Stampede. So it was just a really awkward jump there from the Centaur, haphazardly moving in and getting cleaned up. They saw their approach again with this observer ward that's been kind of sitting there the whole time. Even in darkness, this ward is perfect for seeing anybody walking through that choke point. So they just see it coming, get to Fisher lockdown and bring down the Centaur, and from there they get the free Roshan. They'll give the Aegis to Aggressive once more, it looks like, and he's going to work towards his BKB. Could be the Ags, but he needs a BKB. So, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so the heart is really important for Energy Pacemaker because right now CDEC are kind of putting out a finite amount of damage. After all the spells are thrown out, after the dust settles, the extended damage comes out from follow-up Scream of Pains, comes through from the Leshrac and his Pulse Nova and how that keeps on ticking, and the Lightning Storm, him still being able to cast that. But barring that, they really only can do a certain amount of damage. So if he can build his HP up enough to survive against that initial volley of nukes, then he's going to be in a position where his illusions and himself can do a tremendous amount of work. So I think the heart was a really important pickup. He follows it up with his kind of standard build. And now we'll see what he goes into next. Manta Style seems to make the most sense, though, even against the Earthshaker. And still just a really good item that after the initial clear, after an ulti or two is popped, you can still just pop the Manta Style, and it should be healthy enough. $12,000 net worth in favor of CDEC, 5,000 experience. We do have a Mjolnir on the Queen of Pain. She's kind of trying to transition into carry mode here. So she attacks fast. She has a lot of damage coming in from the Orchid. If you look at the stats on it, it's actually not too bad. 30 damage, 25 intelligence, and 30 attack speed. So she's turning into kind of a right-clicker. And add in like a sheep stick or something like that, and she's in a pretty good position there. In the meantime, the Leshrac, he's going for that BKB. And Aggressive will be able to kind of bear the weight of EPs, of the pressure of the carry roll a little bit better with this item. Just being able to survive against Energy Pacemakers, nukes, stuns, etc. So we're going to see right now, kind of lines drawn in the sand, both sides just picking their battles carefully. They don't want to engage just prematurely, but it looks like down the mid lane they're just going to push through with the Ancient Creeps. And with the help of this Granite Aura, the fact that they get 15% increased health, they can group up for Pipe, they just have a better 5-on-5 if they just stick together. They don't really have to be afraid of too much AoE, as long as they're within a hoof stop or a light circuit radius. So just kind of get a star formation here and go in for the tier 3 tower. Glyph is going to have to pop pretty soon, and yeah, Aggressive, he's got the BKB, he's got that second life, he's feeling pretty good about himself right now, already bringing that down and going on to the racks. Now it's going to be the Squab messing up Centaur's Blink a little bit, and he's just going to get stunned out immediately. Garter will go down, but that's not who you want to focus. He's still got the pipe off, and they're going to go ahead and just clean it up here. Aggressive doing massive damage. Old Chicken will be right-clicking on the backside, but doesn't connect with anything on the stun, so they really just can't kill anyone. Aggressive, full HP. Shiki, full HP. I mean, the Hand of God's cooling down in 12 seconds, and they've killed no one but the Venge. They put so much into the hero that doesn't mean anything but a pipe. She pops all of her spells, she hits her pipe button, and that is her contribution to the game. She doesn't need anything else. She doesn't want for anything else. Old Chicken going in for the Light Strike Array, not going to connect. Completely whiffs it as the Shiki dodges it with the blink, and now it's going to be pressure onto the Leshrac. He's going to go ahead, self-yields. Oh no, it's an offensive yields to set up the Light Strike Array, trying to nuke him down, but he still has that Aegis intact. He'll get the Split Earth against Old Chicken, and that's going to combo it up. That's going to be the GG. Game 1 in the books. CDEC take it. 27-19 at 37 minutes. 15,000 gold. 7,500 experience. That is going to be CDEC running their tempo lineup, running their carry Leshrac, and making it work. I really feel like that BKB was the only thing they were missing to force that high ground, and they took so much early. I mean, the fact that they were able to get the bottom lane of racks really just juiced them up a ton. They were able to get momentum, they were able to get pressure, they were able to get items, and we really just didn't see enough of that Stampede. That Centaur Warner Aghanim Stampede didn't really come out at the time they wanted it to. In fact, the two critical fights the CDEC were able to take, there's no Stampede at all because the Centaur was the first to die. So that kind of gives you a bit of the picture here is essentially he blinks in for the stomp, he gets orchided or stunned in any other way, and he can't cast a single spell. So that's the drawback of the Aghanim Scepter Centaur, guys, is if you're up against the silence, if you're up against a quick stun, you're not going to be able to cast your spells against a good team unless you lead with the Stampede. Stampede, then Blink, which is definitely an option, but not an ideal scenario. But anyways, without stampeding, without carrying to the late game, EP, they just can't hold it, and in 37 minutes they crumble. That's just game 1 of a 2-game series, though. We'll see if EP can bring it to a 1-1 draw in just a few minutes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again to Beyond the Summit. This was iLeague China. We're going to be going into the second game of this matchup here for a nice long day of Chinese Dota here in 6.84. Thanks for joining me. I myself am Blaze. If you enjoyed the commentary, look me up at twitter.com/blazecasting. See you guys in a few minutes for game number 2.